Okay, hi everybody, how are y'all? I hope you're having a fantastic day. When I'm posting this, it'll be Easter, so happy Easter. Easter has become one of my favorite holidays. First of all, Christmas will always be my all-time favorite holiday. Just the best time. But Easter is probably my second favorite. It's so exciting. Everybody's happy about Jesus. It's just great. It's springtime. The weather's great. It's fabulous. All the pastel colors. It's just amazing. I just love it. Easter is so cute. What I wanted to talk about today was, although it's Easter and we had Good Friday 2 days ago, a lot of people don't talk about that day in between. And that's what I wanted to touch on, is that day in between. Everybody's grieving and how much we relate that to our lives all the time. And it's the moment, this period of time between such a great loss and this amazing thing that's gonna change the entire world more than we even realize. Like, it's this moment of time of uncertainty, what's gonna happen next, between this time of terrible great loss and this monumental moment. So I just wanted to touch on that a little bit today. My mom actually told, I can't take credit. Mama Audra told me about it, and she told me that I should talk about that. So, and I thought it was interesting. So creds to Mama Audra. She's awesome. I was thinking about, all right, how do I explain like what that day was? So I went back in my Bible to try and find what the Bible said about that period of time between Jesus dying and him resurrecting. And I honestly couldn't find anything. For some reason, they don't talk about it. It goes in Matthew, it goes straight from the burial of Jesus to the guard at the tomb and Jesus has risen. In Mark, it goes straight from the burial of Jesus and Jesus is risen. In Luke, the burial of Jesus, Jesus is risen. And in John, it goes straight to the burial of Jesus, the empty tomb. And I just found that really interesting that they don't talk about that that time, because I can imagine that those hours being so quiet. This man who has changed their land, caused so much talk in their town, is gone in such a horrible way, and nobody really knows what to do next. And I've actually been reading John, and what I've noticed a pattern. The people of their town have for years looked for this Messiah, and they've looked and they're like, oh, is he the Messiah? Like, oh wait, like we can't wait to find out. And then this man comes that is fulfilling all of these prophecies that have been told, and for some reason all these people have forgotten everything that they knew. Everything that he's fulfilling, they're like, oh my gosh, who is this man? Like, where did he come from? And so they've forgotten everything, and what they, like, for so many years, what they've believed, they've just forgotten. And so it just strikes me as like they've forgotten everything. So I can just imagine they've forgotten everything else. After him being crucified, they probably forgot, oh yeah, he's gonna resurrect too. That's what we've been told, but they forgot everything else. So I can imagine they're just sitting there like in grief, like, I don't know what to do now. What are we supposed to do? I can just imagine the townspeople being like confused on what to do next. But what kind of like I thought of when thinking about, all right, how should I talk about this? I thought of the story of Job. And if you're unfamiliar with the story of Job, it was kind of like a test. Job was very blessed. He had a beautiful wife, tons of cattle, all this land. He was healthy, he had a wonderful family, he was a wealthy man. And Satan was like, he told God, he was like, you know, Job only worships you because of all this stuff you gave him. And God was like, I don't think so. I think you're wrong. And Satan was like, no, he's spoiled. That's why he likes you so much. And God was like, all right, take it away. but he was like, you can do anything, but you're not allowed to kill him. Like, you cannot hurt him. And so that's what Satan did, and they kind of like put this to the test, and all of his belongings were taken away. His family was killed, all of his cattle died, all of these terrible things happened to him. But rather than cursing at God and saying, why are you doing this to me, he praised God. And I can tell you about that in Job 1 verse 20 through 22. He says, at this Job got up and tore his robe and shaved his head. Then he fell to the ground in worship and said, naked I come from my mother's womb, and naked I will depart. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised. I think that's awesome. That's what I strive to do, and that's what I think we should strive to do as well. And we will always, at some point in our life, maybe once, maybe multiple times, have this moment after such a terrible event has happened. After Jesus died, I imagine it just being quiet. After Job lost everything, he praised God. He praised God because he had faith in God. And I think that there were people after Jesus died that said, all right, like, Jesus spoke about this God guy, like, he's gotta be as amazing as he said. Like, I'm sure there were so many people that did have faith and knew that everything was gonna be okay. I'm sure some people doubted and said, what the heck, like, this is not how I pictured this going down. And I think that there were people that held on to their faith. I think that there were people that said, all right, God, what you gonna do next? Like, what you gonna do? The main point I got from all of this was, don't let fear take over your faith. Don't let the fear of what's gonna happen next become greater than your faith in God. Because we know, and from what I said from my last video, if you haven't seen it, you should go check it out. Just saying, you should go check it out. We should have faith in God because we know that his plan is greater. His plan is greatest than anything we could ever imagine. So don't let the fear of, I don't know what's gonna happen next, be greater than that faith that you have. Have faith that even though it's hard, it's so hard sometimes, because as humans, we wanna be in control. We wanna be in charge, and we wanna be in control of what goes on in our life. People say the phrase all the time, it's my life, I get to choose what I want to do. But it's not our life, it's God's life. We were blessed to live it, but it's all for him. And so we've got to put that faith in him that he has the greatest plan. This was hard for Jesus. He was human. Like, he prayed, and the night that he got captured, he prayed and he said, if there's any other way that we can do this, this is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt really bad. Is there any other way that we can do this? And God said no, because God's plan is greatest. And as Jesus went through all that torture, we get to spend eternity with God in heaven and have that relationship. And it didn't end there, because Jesus resurrected 3 days later. Because Jesus stuck with God's plan, he resurrected. And also, didn't mention this, Job, after everything was taken away from him, after everything was stripped from him, when he stayed true to God and he had faith in God and he praised God, because he was like, look, like, you are still God. Like, you are still God. He had faith, and after everything was taken away from him, he got double what he lost. He was blessed far beyond what he had to begin with. So when he had faith in God, rather than cursing at him and saying, look, I had a better plan. So the main point I want to give you is, don't let fear take over your faith. Don't let the fear of what's going to happen next rattle your faith. Always have faith in God. Always have trust in God that he knows what's best and he's going to get through it. He's going to get us through it. that's what I want to share with you today, is just keep that trust going, because although your world may feel like it's falling apart now, great things are coming, and it's going to be better than you could ever imagine. So just keep that faith, stay strong, because you got this, and God's got this, and just keep your faith in Him and trust in Him, and it's all going to get better, I promise. So that's just a little message I wanted to share with you on this Easter. I hope y'all have a fantastic Easter. Go outside, just enjoy the nice weather, because it's springtime and it's just so nice. It's just so nice. So yeah, I'll be praying for you. I hope you pray for me as well, and I hope y'all have a fantastic day. All right, so thanks for checking it out. Bye, y'all.